NASA's shuttle program began in the 1970s to create reusable craft for transportation cargo into space. Previous spacecraft can only be used once, then were discarded. The first shuttle, Columbia, was launched in 1981. 1 year later, the Challenger rolled off the assembly line as the second shuttle of the U.S. fleet, followed later by Discovery in 1983 and Atlantis in 1985. However, on January 28th of 1986, during Space Shuttle Mission 51L, 73 seconds into its flight, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart over the Atlantic Ocean, killing its 7 crew members. This is the most iconic picture of the explosion. This was taken by NASA's recording crew as they record all of their launches for statistics and archiving. NASA had been pestered by both the government and the press to commence with this mission, as it had been grounded due to weather conditions before, and so it had to be sure that they'd get really good coverage for the papers in the morning. This incident has become one of the greatest American tragedies in American history, and so it has become a symbol of remembrance and perseverance through times of hardship. Because of the overall weight of the event, it is also a source of inspiration to artists. One can identify with the clouds formed by the explosion and have an instant connection with it. The first one here can be seen as a statue made out of polystyrene, and this one here is made out of cauliflower. This next photo was taken by Bill Grabber and is the only amateur photo of the Challenger's takeoff. Mr. Grabber lived nearby in Florida during the time of the launch, and he brought his camera out to his porch to film its liftoff. Mr. Grabber had no bias of which to speak. He merely wanted to film the splendor of launching people into space. This particular footage hasn't been reproduced, as it was only released to the Huffington Post in 2012. This picture was taken on December 17, 1996 by a photographer from the Baltimore Sun newspaper. It depicts beachgoers and local law enforcement crowding around the left aileron from the spacecraft. This event became symbolic of NASA's failure due to their tendency to cut corners and rush safety protocol in order to meet deadlines, and this event grounded all shuttle launches until after they had found the cause of the explosion. Ultimately, not much changed in their safety protocol until after their second major shuttle disaster in 2003 involving Columbia, in which they introduced stricter safety procedures. However, one thing did happen after the Challenger disaster, which was the assembly of the Roger Commission, including astronaut Neil Armstrong, which was assembled to ascertain the cause of Challenger's demise. President Reagan was to give his State of the Union address on the night of the Challenger incident. He said that he would continue with it as planned, but ended up postponing it a week, and instead gave a speech on the Challenger. He offered comfort to those who saw the incident, commemorated the brave astronauts, and encouraged future space exploration. This explosion has a place as a representation of American togetherness, and since that day, NASA has learnt of the cause and fate of the orbiter and its crew, and have put in measures to ensure this doesn't reoccur. While this event is tragic, it serves as a reminder that as new frontiers are pushed, so too are the risks taken when charging towards them.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom.